Welcome back to another Montreal Canadian Weekly Report with the hockey coach Francis directly for the beautiful country Italian on amazing great Sunday night, September 15, 2024. And we're going to talk about the Montreal Canadian weekend for what happening the Montreal Canadian prospect versus the Toronto Maple Leaf prospect. Yes, Enortap is going to join me the next couple of minutes. We're going to review the week on the Montreal Canadian. Evan Demidov again scored a first goal in the KHL. We're going to preview the upcoming week for the Montreal Canadian. This is the main camp starts during the week, so we're going to go through that. We have a couple of news about the NHL news. Front player, one is hurt, one signed a new contract, two is retired. It's the week of the retirement in hockey. During the week in NHL. Remember, like Stahl retire, and then we have also Kolikoski retire. Jimmy Ben, Jordy Ben retire also, but we have two goaltender retires on the weekend. And then we're going to ask a Q&A session tonight for all of you. Give us a little bit more what you think about the performance of Montreal Canadian prospect and what you looking for the upcoming main camp. And don't forget that we are back tomorrow night, Monday night, with the Montreal Canadian news about the golf tournament. We'll be back at Tuesday talking a little bit more about the NHL news around the league and the Montreal Canadiens. Wednesday, we are back with a notebook with Marco Larrabee, and that will conclude the week for the Montreal Canadiens. Possible Thursday night also. We're going to be off Friday, Saturday during the week, and then we'll be back next Sunday. And then remember, the first game, Montreal Canadiens exhibition game, is Monday night, September 23rd, again, the Philadelphia Flyers. Back-to-back game. The next night they play again in Montreal. Again, the New Jersey Devils before they play a back-to-back game against the Toronto Maple Leaf. And then finalize the uh, exhibition game October 1st, October 5th. Again, the Ottawa Senators. Before they start the first game of the season, 2024-2025, October 9, again, the Toronto Maple Leaf. And they play a back-to-back game because October then they're traveling all the way to the Boston Bruins again at the DD Garden. So that gives you a little bit more what's coming from the Montreal Canadiens. You are at the right spot, at the right place to learn more about the Montreal Canadiens and what's going on with them and at the Hockey Nation live show. If you are not subscribed, please take a time to subscribe to the channel. Click on the notification to see the new video we produce every single day or the live show we do every single day about the Montreal Canadiens. And finally, of course, don't forget, please, to click on the likes on join this show tonight. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully, you're going to learn a bit more about what's going on with the Montreal Canadiens. But this cannot be a show complete because he's missing one big piece of the puzzle. We're missing greatness. We're missing legend. And he's back again as a co-host of the Habs Weekly Report, directly from Toronto and the Caveman, somewhere, somehow, maybe upstairs, downstairs. But one thing we know, he's in the house at the green room waiting after he did his makeup preparation for the show tonight. Welcome back, Mr. Enortap is in the house tonight.
Hello, Coach. Hello, Hockey Nation. Great to be here as usual. Coach, another week has gone by. More news upcoming. People are happy. People are sad. People are frustrated. People are glad. I don't know, man. What are we going to take away from these two exhibition games that the rookies played?
Well, the people should be happy, Mr. Top. They are back in the weekly report with you and me together. So they should be smiling,
Absolutely.
ready to rock and roll,
Absolutely.
sharing their opinion about the Montreal Canadiens. But you're absolutely right. You have the roller coaster. A little bit what happening with the Montreal Canadiens. We're going to talk about happenings on the weekend, Mr. Top. The subject of the weekend, of the night, Mr. Top. It's the Hudson Showtime at the Bell Center. Dimitar his
Absolutely.
first goal in the KHL. We're going to talk about of course, the weekly report of the Montreal Canadiens on the week, and then the preview of the upcoming week. If you follow what's going on, I produce all the shift and the goal of Evan Demidov. We do this for every single game for the month for the Evan Demidov. And finally, we did another video about only his first goal in the KHL. That's happening for the last 24 hours inside of the Hockey Nation live show. This is the place you can learn about what's going on in the Montreal Canadiens. But before we start, Mr. Atta, we're going to welcome everybody. If you don't mind, that'd be great. and see what we got
Sounds
already
good.
so far. Mr. Enortap, Abination is already in the house tonight. Luciano Moderator is in the house also tonight. Tony DeMarc back with us. Tony was with me on the weekend for watching the bowl game of the Montreal Canadiens. And then we have Audrey Calabro back in the house talking about the NFL football. A lot of surprise if you follow the NFL scoreboard. Honestly, Audrey back from New Jersey and ready to rock and roll. Roy from Bangkok, Thailand. Happy Monday, September 16. Roy is with us tonight. Glad to see you, Mr. Roy. Julien Wiseman back in the house tonight, Mr. Julien. Hopefully, you're doing well. Golf tournament tomorrow start at 8 o'clock a.m. The first call will be there. Martin Besnet est de retour avec nous ce soir. Martin, welcome back. Thanks to join us on a great night. Luke, wow, Luke is back from British Columbia. We miss Luke. He's always been with us. We didn't see him for the last couple of weeks. Luke, hopefully you're doing well. And British Columbia. Mike Godet is in the house tonight. Mike, I'm sure you're watching bowl game. I see you somewhere at some point during the live streaming of the bowl game. Bob Smith, de retour avec nous. Welcome back, Bob Smith. Didn't
Welcome.
see Bob on the game, I believe, during live stream, but he was with us at the show. Gary Convoyer, the best driver UPS, is in the house tonight. Gary, welcome back. PLW, after he won his beat with O'Neill, now is focusing on the Otani to steal a base. Tonight, we'll see if he can accomplish that. He's on the race of the 50-50, something like that, what I heard overall. And then we have Gary back in the house tonight. Gary, I believe, is from Ontario. Welcome back, Gary. Another Gary of the Gary. That's on our tap. Philip Brand, welcome back in the house. Philip, long time we not see you
Welcome.
around.
Yeah.
Martin, 40,000 fans, crazy. Pierre de Nonville, welcome back, Pierre. We didn't see Pierre on the day today, but I think he was there yesterday. Pierre directly from Arizona,
Yeah.
Mr. Tap, and where the weather is hot over there. Mr. Tap, we don't have, without you, this would be impossible, but without have Bob Ultraman,
Ultraman.
he is in the house tonight. Bobby, welcome back. Hopefully, you're doing well. I see Coach Owen Becker did not step up at all. Philip Brown, we're going to talk about Owen Beck. Runway Kings back in the house tonight. Ron, always have a great question about hockey. Ron, directly from Utah, big fan of the Los Angeles Kings. Hopefully, you're doing well. Claude Richard, directement de la belle province de l'Ontario, dans la capitale du Canada. Claude Richard from Ottawa, back in the house. AK knocked the door, waiting for the Edmonton Oilers. No problem. We're going to see you in June. We're going to be in
And
the final
July.
Stanley Cup. Maybe I'm going to prepare for the parade. We'll see what's happening. But AK feels good about his team. Dan back in the
Why
house tonight.
not?
Welcome
Deserves it.
back, Dan. Go Texas,
Well,
Texan. AK talk about the football, by the way. So I only missed one show, Family Supper. Only been here a month. Bob, you're doing very well. You're also great. Your
yeah.
comments, by the way. So we are
Amazing, Bob.
very happy about your performance, everything. Like Steve Belanger, Mr. Natap, I think is the first time Steve Belanger. If not, welcome back. Steve, we want
Welcome.
to know where you're coming from. Is it Quebec, Montreal, Quebec, Ontario, somewhere else? Steve, tell us a bit more about you. And LDP is in the house tonight. Welcome back again from Newfoundland. LDP is no problem. Lindy Ruff is there. The Mr. Buffalo Sabres is going to win that team all the way to the playoff for the first time in the last 13 years. We'll see if this is happening, Mr. Tap. But that's happening, Mr. Tap, so far in the chat. The most of the
That's
thing, don't
good.
forget,
That's
please,
good.
to click on the likes. Welcome, everybody. Thanks to be a part of the show. And no further ado to start with the NHL news. Mr. Tap, we're going to go through this. You're going to give us a bit more information. The Columbus Blue Jackets are looking to take at least two more players for the upcoming season. We know what's happening with that organization. Patrick Laney and Johnny Goodrow. But they signed a contract 1 year at $900,000. GVR played 71 games last season with 11 goals, 27 assists, 38 points. Not bad for GVR after a couple of games
Hmm.
with a year with the Flyers. This last season was with Boston Bruins. We know he can play center, winger, and played many years for the Toronto Maple Leafs also. But give us a bit what you think about that signature for the Columbus Blues guy. Get that GVR.
Yeah, JVR over the last little while has become quite the journeyman as well. But a useful piece, as we all know, unfortunately, with the passing of Goudreau and Laney having left, it opens up some spots there. You can't go wrong. 1 year, 900,000. I mean, JVR's still got very good hands around the net. He's effective on the power play. I mean, his skating is not what it used to be. Not that it was, his strong suit, but I mean, it has slowed down, and age has caught up with him. But as you can see from his stats, he's still quite effective, and he's quite the specialist on the power play as well, in front of the net, parked in front.
You're absolute about that. I agree with you. Bottom six for the Columbus Blue Jacket. Look, this team is young, still have young. I know they signed Sean Monahan during the
Yeah.
summer, 5 year contract at 5 million, 0.5 or $5 million. But they still have Fentelli there. They still have Zillinger. We'll be interested what Johnson is going to do now with the new head coach. And Vovanov, I believe, is nice name. Whatever he have, is older, but still have only a few game in NHL, 1 year experience with NHL. So you talk about Chirichek, the defenseman. So it's a team, honestly, going to be at the bottom, I think, of the NHL again for the upcoming season. But they need some kind of experience around the cover the young player for the Columbus Blue Jacket, and we'll see what happening. Again, the biggest problem for them is honestly the goaltender situation. They're not performing well the last couple of years, but we'll see what happening with the Columbus Blue Jacket. Mr. Tap, um, he decided to retire. Andy Renta retired as a goaltender, play 11 years in NHL, most with Arizona, if you remember Renta.
Yeah.
Played the last couple of years with the Columbus, with the Canada Hurricane, 237 game in NHL, 139 W. 80 lost at 29 times, 2.48 percentile, point save percentage of 915. Not a bad stat if you think about this. More recognized
No,
for
not
me,
at
a
all.
backup number two, and obviously with prone injury, that would be another wood stuck with the career of Randy Renta. Did he play with the Chicago Blackhawks? I think he did, by the way.
I think he did a year
Yeah,
or two. Yeah, you're right.
yeah.
Carolina. Yeah. Yeah, no, he's as you can see from the numbers, they're very respectable, and not only as a backup. I mean, many times he's been called into action and has been a number one at certain points in his career. But whenever he's had to step up, he's always answered the bell, and very good numbers. I want to congratulate him on a great career to date, and hopefully he moves on to something that where he finds complete fulfillment now that his hockey career is over with.
Yeah, it will be interesting what happening for him, but this is a long career, the 11 year in NHL. And then his peer, Alex Stalok retired also. 11 year in NHL, 2 179 game, 70 W, 65 lost, 20 tie, 2.3 goal again average, and save percentage on 908. Stalok players, like I mentioned, 11 year. I think it was the most with the San Jose Sharks around his career,
Yeah,
and the Minnesota Wild for him. Again, Stalok, a little bit. A backup goaltender number two, get some kind of flashy or highlight some point, but overall, that's what we're going to remember Stalak that way.
yeah, definitely not at Ranta's level, but again, very respectable numbers for a backup. And always relied upon and answered the bell when he was called upon. So again, a good career for him. I'm glad that at this stage he's moved on and is looking to continue the next chapter of his life.
Yeah. Welcome, Rick. By the way, said Cohen was the best player on the ice. I agree with you about that, Rick. Welcome to the house. Don't forget everybody to click on the likes. And then Mr. Great, Mr. Greg. N26 in the house, Mr. Tap. He talk about
Welcome,
said
man.
Columbus. I've never, Madrid since been part of the league. Is not wrong. Yeah, yeah. It's a team never figure out, honestly, the Columbus Blue Jacket overall. A couple of great players, by the way, inside the
Well, they've had
organization of the Columbus Blue Jacket. What happened in Laval this season? Now, Coach Beck, Angstrom, Farrell, then we'll talk about this the next couple of minute. Yeah, the size. Thank you for your service, LDP, about that. And so on top, another news. This is the ex-Montreal Canadiens after really Conan. He's going to miss the start of the season 2024-2025, a couple of weeks. We know he was hurt last season, a really bad injury, and come back at the end of the season, but still not ready for the upcoming season. So it's a Columbus Blue Jacket, Mr. Natar, won the Stanley Cup um, 2 years ago. 3 years ago.
Colorado,
Vegas,
you mean?
Vegas, Florida. Before that was
Yeah.
Columbia, right? And
Colorado.
send that. Colorado Avalanche, Mr. Tap, struggling after that, right? We know what McKinnon did, Rantanen, Kel
Yeah.
McCarr, but the position of goaltender, they never go Jeff become that kind of goaltender number one with a great performance overall. And then, of course, injuries did not help. The departure of Kedri, I think they never find a second center, send that, and of course the fiasco of Valery Nikushkin with his off-ice behaviors. This is another one that did hurt the Colorado Avalanche. So this is so. What are your expectation for Colorado, by the
Well, they'll still be a very good team, Coach. I mean, you hit on a few key things there. Predominantly the fact that they've had some key injuries. I mean, losing your captain in Landeskog when he was there, and he hasn't played, I believe, a year and a half, bordering almost on two now. And we're hoping that he can make a resurgence this year. From all indications, it looks like he might be back, but he's been away from the game also for quite a while, so it'll take a while for him to sort of get back into the groove of things, and we don't know what to expect after the type of injury that he had. So that created a big hole. Kadri leaving obviously did, but unfortunately, I mean, that was more byproduct of cap today's salary cap situation with teams, and we're seeing that more and more. Depending, obviously the Stanley Cup winners and runner ups and teams that have sort of loaded up in hopes of winning the cup. It comes a point where sometimes you have to renew contracts and the money just isn't there, so they have to either deal a player away or they lose him in free agency, and that's sort of what happened in this case.
way? Mr. Tap, did you hear that?
New super chat.
We have a super chat, Mr. Tap. Let's show for people what you can do as a dancer of the 1970s with a Southern Night with John Travolta. They call you the John Travolta of the show, Mr. Tap.
Denny Terrio.
You did it again, Eric Toussaint. Well done, well
Hype,
said,
hype,
Mr. Eric
hype, hype.
Doucette. Mr. Tap, you did not miss any piece of your dancing of the 1970s. We appreciate that.
I've been
Uh,
practicing.
Eric, thanks so much. Eric said, nice to see you guys. Wish you a great season. Thanks so much, Eric, for contribute at the Hockey Nation Live
Thanks,
show.
Eric.
And all
Thank
the
you.
people, guys, you don't have to contribute with money, but you have to be part of the show. This is already a plus. The most important thing, guys, it's free. Costs nothing. Just click on the like. Boom, boom, bingo.
And
You get that one
subscribe.
over there. So that would be great if you can do that. Rick, again, thanks so much. Who would Montreal trade for Cohen if he was available? Oh, that's the question of Rick, by the way, Mr. Tap. That's all I was trying to figure out that one, Mr. Tap. So the question of Rick Fear, first of all, I believe it's the first time, huh? Who would you Montreal trade to get Easton Cohen? Cohen was draft 31 overall pick by the Toronto Maple Leafs 2 years ago.
2 years ago, I think. Yeah, yeah.
So what you
Well,
expect?
I mean, the way the Leafs have sort of unfolded, and with the lack of first rounders that they've had over the last little while because obviously they've always made pushes to try to go further into the playoffs. Hasn't worked out to date, but when you get somebody like Cowan and the East and so some of the other first round picks that they've had and they seem to be working out. We saw last year it was quite good with um, their players that they brought up at the end of the year. They looked quite quite fast, and they also have a good scoring touch around the net. I don't think the Leafs would let go of him, so I don't see anybody being making a trade under these circumstances. As much as it would be nice to have somebody like him, but unfortunately, it's not going to happen.
Yes, we'll be interesting what look at Cohen shows on the weekend, guys. One of the best players for the Toronto Maple Leafs overall. A great year last
Minton's
season.
another one.
It was at the Memorial Cup, if you remember. Played with London Knight, right?
Yes, yeah,
And look, this is going to be interesting if he can make it or not. If not, we'll be with the Marlins, honestly, right? Um, for them. But you can see Skin now. The questions about who do you trade for him. Um,
it would
I
take
have
a
to go.
lot.
It's a 1-1, I can see a Joshua Roy.
Doesn't get it done. I don't think he gets it done, Coach.
You don't think Roy and Cowan are not going to be a top nine forward in NHL? I don't see Cowan jumping on the top six.
I don't know. I could see it possibly happening. I mean, I think he's got the skill set for it. I mean, I like Raw as well, but I mean, he has to work his way up to the second line. I believe at this stage, it's not something that's going to be granted to him right off the bat. Doesn't mean he won't get there. You think he could, but I think you'll need a little bit more than just Joshua Raw to get that deal done.
Well, we're going to see talk more about Cowan the next couple of minutes. Toronto Maple Leafs, Montreal Canadiens. Edmonton signed Travis Dermott, PTO for the upcoming season. Dermott, after he left the Toronto Maple Leafs, struggling to stay with the consistency in NHL with injury with the Vancouver Canucks. If you remember that trait, 50 games last year with the Arizona Coyotes, 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points. And he's got a PDO. We know Edmonton is really looking, Mr. Tap, to figure out the right side of the defenseman behind Evan Bouchard, send the departure of CC and Vincent Desharnais. Mr. Tap, that's happening about this one over there. And we're going to go talk about this a little bit later, Mr. Tap. But the first thing, Mr. Angel, is the Montreal Canadiens. And people are here to looking and talking about that happening for the Montreal Canadiens. They complete the rookie camp 2024 during the weekend with a 2 loss, one and a shootout, 4-3, one on the regular time by the score of 5-4. And we're going to go all around, guys. We're going to talk about everything happening at the camp. Your players stood out, the surprise of the camp, your
Yeah.
disappointment of the players of the camp. We talk about what he looked like, the defenseman a long term for Montreal Canadiens. We're going to talk about the forward. What did you see on the weekend? And we're going to go deep for the next 15 minutes. This is the time now to stop up. You have a question about the camp, you have a question about prospect. Let's go for the talking about the Montreal Canadiens camp. We're going to be there until 10 o'clock p.m. Today. So it's your turn now, everybody in the chat talking, and give us a little bit some information, the review of the rookie camp, the bowl game for the Montreal Canadiens prospect versus the Toronto Maple Leafs prospect. For some, Mr. Tab, before we start, I just want to mention I really love it. I really love the formula of the weekend. The last couple of years, you have a showcase in the Buffalo at the practice, Mr. Tap, of the Buffalo Sabres during the season. And it was dark. It was 2 periods of 25 minutes. Yeah, nothing compared for what happened the weekend. There was a great performance for both teams, and hopefully next season Montreal go to the Toronto Maple Leafs. We see the same weekend a shutdown between both organizations. I have to give credit for the Montreal Canadiens and the Toronto Maple Leafs as a Montreal Canadiens fans or Leaf fans to see those prospects with 20,000 people. This is a great format, Mr. Tap, happening between both organizations.
It is, Coach, and like I said, it gives you a quick glimpse in terms of your prospects and what you have. And I think a lot of times, and we saw it in the chat over the last couple games that you've brought forth for us. The comments have gone all over the place, and there's all justification and everything and merit in what people have said. But you got to remember, I mean, it's also very early, and some of these kids are exactly that. They're kids, and it's going to take them a while to sort of get acclimated to the NHL level, sort of get used to their line mates and whatnot. What we saw this weekend, I thought, was two very very competitive games that we saw some good plays from some of the prospects on both teams. The one area I would say that really lacked, I thought, was goaltending on both ends. Some of the goals that went in, I think a little bit higher ranked goalie would not have allowed those in on both sides. So that's perhaps why they were a bit higher scoring than we would have anticipated. But if we look at Montreal specifically, like I wasn't disappointed with the defensive core. I thought, Hudson, yes, he made some mistakes sometimes and got caught in plays, but really he stood out as probably the best defender in terms of what he brings to the game offensively. Logan Mailloux, I thought, was solid from time to time. Engstrom, I thought, especially the first game, he really stepped up for Montreal. He probably had, if not the strongest, one of the strongest games of the defensive core. Reinbacher, I mean, Reinbacher made some very good passes, but got caught a couple times. He didn't get caught defensively, but I think when he was trying to commit a little bit offensively, that's where we saw some of the mistakes. So I'm not worried about the defensive core at all. It's something that you might see one and maybe even possibly two that could be depending on how they push the envelope moving forward, whether they make it to Montreal this year or not. Guys like Ryan Bacher, if they go back and get another year of maturity at Laval, I think that serves him well. It serves Montreal well, serves the development well. It'll serve the entire team well. Forward wise, I think you called it today, Coach. You said not too many forwards, if any, really stood out from an elite perspective. I mean, you can make arguments that at times we saw some good spurts out of guys like Owen Beck and Emil Heineman. He even scored today. Philip Massar at times looked decent. But we expected a little bit more out of some of the other players, and it's just not there right now, and that's okay. I don't think we should be over analyzing what maybe the fact that they haven't shown their full display. Like, it takes time. These guys are young. It's gonna take a while for them to really get together and work as a team. And as we know, maybe the answer for forwards could come out of one or two players that we've seen at this rookie camp, or maybe it has to come from other sources and avenues. It's all about how you manage your assets. If they can't get a player to move up because they're not quite there developmentally at this stage, then they might have to do it eventually through UFA. They might have to do it through trades, whatever the case might be. And they have areas of strength to deal from in order to make all of that happen. So, um, I overall I can't complain. Like I said, I think the goaltending left a lot to be desired. The defense I was very pleased with, especially Hudson and how he was he made himself dangerous in the offensive zone all the time, and he was very um, he's sort of unorthodox. If you look at him, the way he skates, and he's always kind of bowed over, and his skating's a little bit choppy at times, but he gets the job done, and that's what you need. And he's got magic hands, and he can. That puck is always on his stick, so that was very encouraging to see. And the forwards, like I said, there wasn't a lot to write home about, but I think that there were at least two or three players, forwards that will show some promise at least.
Wow. I'm right now on the clash with PLW about Owen Beck right there.
Oh,
But I'm going to talk about Owen Beck the next
I di-
couple of minutes. But
yeah. Let's talk about him because I know we've never 100% agreed with him. But I didn't think he did anything outrageously bad out there. Like, could he have been better? Absolutely. But I still think he did a lot of good things that you can sort of see in the event that they want to trade Dvorak or they move on from Evans. It's not going to be a reach to say, okay, we're bringing up Owen Beck. Like, that progression that you need to have in the system, right? And it's something that I think he's got a very good sense of the game. His IQ is very good. He wins face-offs, and I know you don't think he's very physical, but if you look, he does complete his checks, and he does, you know, uh, put himself out there. It's like it's not that he's afraid to get into the
if he's
corner.
is he the
Uh,
best forward for the Montreal Canadiens on the weekend?
was he the best?
Did he drive his
Possibly,
line?
possibly.
Did he drive his line?
Did anybody? You think? I don't think anybody
On
really
his
did,
line,
to
is
be
it Sean
honest.
Farrell or Owen Beck drive the line of the first line?
I thought
How many entrants?
I
How many entrants Owen Beck carrying the puck on the offensive side? He's a center.
oh, there were a
Three
few. There
years,
there were a
three
few.
years, 3 years. Rookie camp. Did he was a better rookie camp this year compared to his first year?
Yeah, yes. Yes.
You think he have a better rookie camp this weekend compared to his first camp with the Montreal Canadiens when he got his entry level contract? He
I think it was better
dominated
than
that
last
year
year's.
in Buffalo.
He was better than last year.
He was better to last year. Yes,
Yeah.
he was very
Yeah.
bad last season. But Beck this
Yeah.
weekend
Yeah.
does not show to me he deserves to play in the NHL right now.
And he probably won't right away, right? Like
Yeah,
that's
he's not there
obviously.
yet. You can see he's not there. If you want to compare a player, Owen Beck should play at the same level, a better at Easton Cowan during the weekend. They was at the same level.
I think Easton Cowens is a higher rated.
He was
Like, I
not the
think he's
same
more
level
top
like
six.
Easton Cowan. Any forward for the Montreal Canadiens was at the same level like Easton Cowan. No one. You have no
No,
one
no.
can play at that level. When you say he won the face-off, listen, if you don't win the face-off, you would dominate the OHL in the face-off. It would be a big problem for Winbeck. So it's not the face-off going to make me or he's going to play in the NHL tomorrow morning. It's the way he played overall. He did not have an entrance man. He did not carry him the puck. Owen Beck. He was not the player dominate as the forward of that team during the weekend. Yeah,
Yeah,
Savoie
yeah,
Thorpe have a
coach.
better weekend overall at Owen Beck. And
Yeah,
Owen Beck is a
I
33 overall
understand what
pick,
you're
should
saying.
be your best player to show up during the weekend. So when you say you want to trade Christian Livareg, you want to trade Jake Evans, Owen Beck, you're never going to play that spot right now at this moment to take the Montreal Canadiens. Listen, you can love Owen Beck, but you're going to see at the main camp what he looked like next during the week is coming. You're going to see exactly what Owen Beck I mentioned to all of you for the last 3 weeks about Owen Beck. You're going to see it again. A guy is a
He's
guy, he does not have that kind of skill yet to play in NHL. In my opinion, it's 2 years minimum, Mr. Tap. 2 years before he become a regular player in NHL. This is Owen Beck.
Yeah, just a few things to sort of counter that. I mean, again, I wouldn't compare him to Cowan because I think Cowan is more of an elite forward. You're talking a top six, and you're comparing to Beck, who I believe is a bottom six, right? He's
No,
either
Mr.
your
Enortap,
third or
31
fourth
overall
line
pick
center.
versus 33 overall pick.
Okay, but we've said it many
We
times.
talk about
Sometimes
the
you can't
MVP of the tournament.
but you can't compare sometimes where they were ranked in a particular draft year because it depends on the class that particular year. I mean, it's like comparing, a first or second round pick like Lafreniere versus, um, you know, Celebrini or
Oh,
something.
I
Like
understand your
it's
point of view about that. I understand your point of view
yeah.
evaluation.
So it's not.
A number of the draft pick, Mr. Enortap, at the end of the
Yeah,
day, is
yeah,
not the development of the player, what he going to become in NHL. Could be draft first, could be draft 65 or 69. That's not change anything about the evaluation development. By the end of the day, for me, if Owen Beck cannot
yeah.
perform during the weekend at the level he's supposed to be, at the same, like Easton Cowan, this is a problem for me. He did not stood out, on my opinion, during the weekend. He was not the best player for the Montreal Canadiens overall. That's my concern
No.
about Owen Beck. If he cannot step up at that level, he
Okay.
have no. Yeah, how many goals he has during the weekend? How many points he has? How many times he gave opportunity for his teammates? Sean Farrell can carry on that line. Farrell was more
Yeah.
active with the puck around.
Yeah, but the question here was like I did not say that he needs to be on the team right now. If you recall when I started my conversation, I said none of the forwards impressed me. What I said is if at some point, right, Montreal decides for whatever reason that they need to trade at the trade deadline time, somebody like Dvorak, who's next to come up and play that spot that is probably ready at that point? And I think you can say it's not much, but it would be Owen Beck to fill in that spot in my eyes. Like, does he need does is he ready right now? Probably not. But does he carry that ceiling that he can make it and he can become that kind of a player? Absolutely. And again, you can't compare it with Toronto's players because you're comparing two different things. We have to look at the Montreal prospects for what we need on the Montreal team right now. And right now, there's nobody that would take either a first or second line forward spot away from any of our Montreal Canadian forwards.
I'll give you an
Is
example,
there
Mr.
somebody
Tap.
that?
If you look about Irvonen,
Yeah,
Irvonen, I believe, was his third year and as a camp. Am I right?
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Anyway, he scored 2 goals today. About this is Irvonen is a guy. He's still in the Marlins have a difficult time to make the Toronto Maple Leaf
Toronto
um,
Maple Leafs. Yeah.
lineup. This is what I feel like Owen Beck is going to be right now. It's a guy with all of you said to me, maybe top six, maybe third line. I'm sure
No.
third line.
Third line, I can see. Third line,
For
I can
me,
see.
I don't see that yet. I don't see that yet. I I don't see
Okay.
that. Uh, Listen, he's going to be a good player in the NHL because the guy is smart. The guy have the fundamental of the game. He really understands the game. I think he's going to helping him. But right now, in my opinion, he's not ready for NHL. He need to develop the to understand the speed, the adaptation of the game, and then to go over that way. So for me, it's a minimum 1 year with a Laval Rocket minimum, maybe more. And
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, coach. Again, I'm not saying he needs to be on the team right now because his skill level dictates that. What I'm saying is he will be a part of this organization because he has the type of skill set and the depth that you need in those kind of role players when it comes to the nitty gritty and then getting into the playoffs. Like this is the kind of guy you're going to want. And I know some people are comparing him to Kapanen, but they're two different kind of players. Kapanen is much better in front of the net. He's much more rugged in front of the net. He's got very good deflection. He's got good stick-eye coordination, and I like Kapanen a lot. It's different. Like you can't compare the two. If anything, you're looking at what are you going to do down the road. Like it's all about succession planning. Like Dvorak and Evans will not be here for the long run. Right now, I know even Marco said, well, maybe at the end of the year, if Dvorak is willing to sign for less and stay an extra year or two, do you do it if you're Montreal? I mean, you can make an argument for that, and I can accept it because maybe he brings some experience. But I think also you have to provide the young kids an opportunity to succeed in the system if they're evolving the way you want. Now, if you see he goes down to Laval and doesn't produce and he's just not getting to the level you want, then by all means, I say you look at your next option, which is okay. Well, do we sign Dvorak for maybe another year or two, or do we go looking elsewhere for a third line center?
Yeah,
That I can see.
but this is a remind me a little bit the situation with Madison and Savard, right? The one the Savard Madison will be trade, will be out, is because the young men are ready to pick up their spot in the lineup. Mayu,
Right.
Rebecca, and the rest
Yeah.
outside, right? Same situation with Devarak Evans. One, the Kapanen, the Beck, and Michael Edge are going to step up. They're going to ready there. But then, I think, in my opinion, you cannot trade Devarak and Jake Evans. I think they don't have enough as a center to pick up their spot. The key on that one, Mr. Antap, is Alex Newhook. I still believe Alex Newhook is going to become a third center for Montreal Canadiens on during the transition of Kapanen, Beck, and Michael Edge. And that will open up. I will not keep Christian Dvorak for over $2 million, Mr. Antap. Like, not at all. Like,
No, I
sorry, we
agree.
keep Sean Monahan, guys,
I agree.
year ago at 1,985,000. That would be a good scenario. So with like Monahan, it was a top six. The Varek is the bottom six. If you give more at $2 million for the Varek, guys, we're going the wrong direction. We're
No,
completely
I
wrong
agree.
direction. I will keep Jake
I
Evans
Yeah.
completely with that part at 1.7. Give him 2 million if he want to. I think overall he fit better of what Montreal looking for. Not said just discredit Christian Devarek, but I don't think so. Is the player when Montreal can consist with him. This is the time they have to split both of
He's
them.
not part of their future. Exactly.
So for
Exactly.
me, I will
Uh,
not go with Christian Devarek alone. That's my point behind that. This is going
yeah,
to happening
and we're
only
also
one the Owen Beck, like I mentioned. But this is the key for me. I think Montreal can have to this. I don't see Alex Newhook. We cannot have Alex Newhook on the top six for a long run and the future with Montreal Canadiens as a be a contender and NHL top 10 playoff. Alex Newhook is not there. Alex Newhook is going to bring you more on the third line. Maybe like Dawson Mercer. I see a Dawson Mercer
right.
a really good fit at the third line, in my opinion. This is what I see with Alex Newhook. Yes, winger center, but I think during the transition, Newhook could be a good center for the Montreal Canadiens. The time will tell us, and don't be surprised. I'm going to shock all of you. Christian Dvorak play on the second line with Kirby Dak and Patrick Lane and Alex Newhook start on the third line center between Gallagher, Armia, or Anderson. What? I will tell you why,
Mm.
Mr. Tap. The percentage of
I don't
Christian
see that.
Dvorak is really low on the face-off. Christian
Yes.
Dvorak is the left, Dvorak Dak is the right. He's on his final year contract. Dvorak have experience. Dvorak can beat that role. It can stabilize the defensive side of Patrick Laney and Kirby Dak on the defensive side of the game. I don't say what's happening, but don't be surprised if you see Christian Dvorak on the second line. That's just what I just said. I don't said I guarantee you that, Mr. Tap. But as a hockey coach, you like to have a defense
Yeah.
as a center like Christian Dvorak to win your big face-off at the at some time. Again,
Well,
like now we're going to talk about you,
you know
not
where
coach. Go ahead.
I stand with centermen. Like I always maintain you can never have enough centermen, and if you can equip yourself, your team with two centermen on each line, even though one of them is going to be playing the wing, then you're well off. You're going to have the depth that you need, and it does exactly what you said. It you know, you have one of them taking left-handed face-offs or offensive or defensive face-offs, and the other person does the opposite. So um, I don't think it's a bad idea, but I would caution you with Dvorak, because I just don't see him being part of the future with Montreal. We're also not talking about the fact that he's
But give
also
you an
very
idea, Mr.
injury
Antap.
prone.
What you like Owen Beck? What do you like Owen Beck?
I like the fact that, like I said, he reads the game very well. I think
So
he's
what do you
got
think
a
about Christian
decent
Dvorak?
shot. I
Exactly
think he's
Owen
not
Beck.
as okay. So we're saying that if we were to trade Dvorak, then Owen Beck is ready
No, not I
to
was
take
said.
over.
The prototype
So they're
Owen
not the
Beck
same.
is exactly what Christian Dvorak. Both of them are not very physical, right? And also they are soft. They are not really physical. All of them have a really great on the details of the game. They really pay attention on the defensive zone. Both of them are good on the face-off. Both of them a good skater, but not a great skater. This
Hmm.
similar, Mr. Top. This is a Devorak on his best. He maybe reach 20 goal one day in NHL. This is Owen Beck.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I not said the Owen Beck play on the second line. I never said Christian Devorak is a second line top six. But especially when Montreal Canadiens, that would be could happen, Mr. Top. I don't say he's going to play on the second line. Like people say, Coach, you're nuts and you're crazy.
No,
But
no, no. What you
as a
brought up
as a coach
was
strategic,
legit.
Mr. Enortap, don't be surprised sometime on the third period on strength moment, Doc Devorek and Leonie play together. This is my point behind that. And this is a great
Hmm.
for Martin Saint Louis to have Alex Newhook, a versatile center. It's good to have center can play winger, a winger can be center. That gives a little bit more tools for Owen for Martin Saint Louis. But now we have to move on, Mr. Tap, on the camp on the rookie camp because we're going to start here.
Let's go on.
Overview. First of all, Mr. Tap, I want everybody right now. We're going to do a mid
Take
station,
it
Mr.
easy.
Tap, for 30 seconds. I want
Okay,
everybody
go ahead.
close your eyes. Right? Close your eyes. And now breathe in, breathe out. Why, coach, you do this? Because this is a rookie camp, guys. This is what it is. Like nothing big.
Exactly.
It's nothing big. It's half of the players are invited for both organizations. They have bad execution. They have no chemistry. They have no system play, and you cannot evaluate Mr. Natap overall what's going to happen on the weekend or the rookie camp. It would be very not fair to say this player, this player, this player, this player, this player, this player. Look what happening about that. We did an overview about Owen Beck. I was talking about in general about Owen Beck, not only the weekend, but what I expect for him, everything like that. This is how I see the rookie camp. It's like everybody draft a player, they expect him to become that player. I'm always me caution about everything. I'm really more on my on the back seat and waiting the fact, the player, how he's developed, how he's going to look like, and where he's going to be at 22, 23. You can assume, you can project, but at the end of the day, this is who I am on the weekend of the rookie camp. So, yes, it's fun talking about performance. It's fun to see what they look like. I think it was great to see Lane Hutson, dancing with the puck like he does. He's so good, Mr. Tap, with the puck. He's like, he's not play against the opponent team. He's play with also his teammate. They all don't know where he's going with the puck. He's 1 versus 9, Mr. Tap. A couple of times, his teammate look at him like, wow,
What are you doing?
he's good. But at the end, this is how I see about the rookie camp. So um, we have to relax with that. We have to see. But it's fun to watch it.
Yeah.
It's fun to see players performing during the. For me, it's great. And my stood out player for the weekend. My opinion, Lane Hutson,
Hmm.
surprised by Tyler Thorpe, like
Hmm.
really impressive by him. Uh, a player invite by the Montreal Canadiens, Charles Savoie. But I don't expect too much overall by Charles Savoie. This is remind me, guys,
Yeah.
the year when they invite the big Gen 6'7" Parker Jones. Everybody was expect Parker Jones to be oh, he's big, he's going to be guys. Same thing with Savoie. But it's good to see Savoie performing during the weekend like he did on the four line. He makes some kind of recognize about him. He's going to play with the Concordia University for upcoming year, Mr. Tap. After he did not do very his career in the QM is not big on the number. He's a big winger, 6'2", but that's 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 who he is at the end of the day. So uh, don't expect too much about Subway. But the other players stand out overall. Uh, really better day for me today. Riley Kidney, Philip Mazar, Farrell overall both
Hmm.
game ever both. For me, Beck it's okay, but not much right there. And Emin have some flash left and right, but not much
Yeah,
overall. Davidson, you get what you get for Davidson. Consistency, working hard every single shift. A little bit a Gallagher on his nose. Not said he's a career
yeah.
Gallagher, but what he bring on the table is energy, everything like that. The third line, of course, slave for
I
Jacky
expected,
and
yeah, I
and
expected more out of Jack Eye and also Luke Tuck,
yeah.
and we didn't see that. You know,
Now, at the flip side, they have a little bit better active at the third period, a little bit better game overall, the second half of the game today with Tyler Thorpe. But I will expect more for both of them. The four line, obviously, like I mentioned,
yeah.
Larose, Savoie, Miscuum, and then you see Pellerin today and another one. Honestly, Savoie was the best on the four line. On the defenseman, guys, the only one stood out is Lane Hutson, in my opinion. Um, stood out.
I don't know. I wasn't disappointed. I think my expectations going in and what I came out of it from the defensive part, I thought were consistent. Like I thought the four defensemen would be, you know, relatively solid, and I think they were at different levels. Of course, I think Hudson was above and
Did you
beyond everybody
expect more
else.
for Logan Mayu?
No, I thought he showed flashes. I know he made some mistakes out there, but I thought he showed some good flashes, especially in today's game. Um, he was fairly reliable. I thought Reinbacher had a slightly better game, even though he clearly needs that extra year in Laval, I think. And of course, Engstrom, I thought, especially in the first game, I thought probably he was
Today
almost right up
struggled
there with,
Engstrom. On defensive
yeah,
side,
on
Engstrom
the
struggling
defensive, yeah.
about that. And
But
me,
he carried the puck very well.
I wish the Montreal can make some change. I wish Rebecca played with Hudson today and Mayu play with Engstrom. Um, to
Yes,
see,
yes,
when you see both of them play together, Mayu and Rebecca and Hudson, I can see a little bit more chemistry between all of them for that part of there. Rebecca, for me, the consistency of what he is most of the weekend. Angstrom first game was pretty good. Difficult on the one goal yesterday. On the first goal of the game, he's come back a little bit stronger overall. But
yes.
today, you can see have some kind of trouble on the defensive side overall. He did not play the same level yesterday. Mayu, listen, you have a great shot, right? But decision wise, it's not always there. Like decision wise,
Hmm.
you have to see the details of the game about Logan Mayu. First pass and details of the game. If you watch Logan Mayu, guys, focus on that. Don't worry about the shot. Don't worry when he is on the offensive side of the game. He scored a goal in the center top, right? The power is shot is one timer shot on the left
Good
side.
shot. Yeah.
But what his game is cap control, is decision wise with the puck, and then is battle on the left side, on the right side. He is good on the reach, Mr. Tap. He's
Yeah.
really good
Yeah. Yeah.
reach. He's because he's a tall player, right? But when you go on the battle one versus one, sometimes he's not there. So sometimes it's not that. It's not about he cannot for him. I'm not worried about him, but he will have to learn about his position, his angling versus the player opponent players. And this is just an adaptation. It's not that. It's a learning curve for him. Everything like that. I don't say I have a bad weekend. What I said, I was a little bit more expect more for Logan Mayu. Have a good both days for me, but I want a little bit more like Lane Hutson did it. Now, people say Lane Hutson, yeah, but look what he did on defensive. Don't worry about Lane Hutson on the defensive. He showed up this weekend. It was the showtime Lane Hutson. It
It's
was the best player on the ice for the Montreal
yeah.
Canadiens and
Yeah.
for both teams. On the flip side, Easton Cohen did for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but Lane Hutson delivery. Rebecca, guys, It's going to be a plot, remind me a lot Slavin for the Carolina Hurricane. When you watch Slavin on top, is you're going to get that. 82 game with consistency. Uh, Player is going to, when he's on the ice, nothing happening around him. It's confident for the goaltender to have a Slavin in front of him. This is what Rebecca is going to become with Montreal Canadiens. Slavin have some kind of
Yeah.
show offensive side sometime, right? Rebecca have a little bit more could become. Rebecca is good, Mr. Tap. Yesterday again, three times. He was the original of the goal of Torp, I believe. Rebecca carrying the puck on the offensive
Mhm.
side. He's a little bit better what we expect on that one. But you're not going to see a lot of flashy Hudson Rebecca. But the consistency with shutdown, you're going to see this for Rebecca. It's not like it's hard for the Montreal fans to see that when he was draft fifth overall pick. He's not show a lot, but he does the details of the game that way. Enstrom, this is going to be a third pairing in NHL, in my opinion, one day. Um, I believe on this kid. I watched him for the last two seasons and the SAHL, everything like that. The rest of the defensemen, you can see Charbonneau was not bad today overall for Charbonneau.
It's a
Physical
bit
was
better
there.
today. Yeah.
For the it was better at Motu. I think his last name is Motu.
Yeah,
We will
Motu.
never going to see again Motu in the the Montreal Canadiens area on that one. Uh,
Owen Protz, I expected a little bit more out of.
yeah, but
I
I'm not
thought
going
that
to go with
he,
that way.
yeah,
Third pairing defenseman with that
yeah, yeah,
organization.
yeah,
What I mean? I
absolutely.
was not expect too much about Bratz on that one. You can see compare what he have on the development camp. His game was a little bit less of what he showed. But again, I'm not going to go that way with him over there. So this is what I see on the weekend. The goaltending was really bad for the Montreal Canadiens
Bad.
overall. They have a couple of good saves, by the way, at some point. At the third period for both games, Richard stepped up at some point, but they gave a lot of bad goals. Did not help the Montreal Canadiens. And I don't want to give them one negative thing about them. First of all, guys, the two goaltender never draft by NHL.
That's right.
Yes, throwback play in the OHL, I understand that, but Richard played most of his time at the University of Brunswick, Mr. On top. This is a lower level, everything like that. So at the end of the day, there was two players invited by Montreal Canadiens. Obviously, Quentin Miller was supposed to be the goaltender for Montreal Canadiens with Samuel Richard, and he's hurt. It could be a couple of months with injury shoulder, I believe. So I don't want to drop a lot of things on the goaltending, everything like that. So at the end of the day, I
Yeah,
think
we
it's the
knew
rookie
we knew
camp
that that was going to
pretty
be
good.
that was going to be the situation with the goaltenders, without a doubt. I think with the defense coach, I think it's instead of like we could all nitpick and say, well, this player showed this offensively, but didn't couldn't do this defensively, or this one was good defensively, but can't put a puck on net if it's life depended on it. Like you can't do that because you can go up and down the NHL list, and there's very few. You can probably count them on one hand. Defensemen that are strong offensively and are strong defensively. It's all about the pairing. If you can find the right partners for these players so that they they um, they collaborate properly, they make up, they can read each other's positioning, and that's what's important. It's who do you pair with whom, and we've seen that with all the NHL teams. Like you can start with guys like Quinn and work your way down to Fox. Like they have their strengths and they have their weaknesses. So I wouldn't worry about the fact that maybe Hudson defensively wasn't at his best, or Reinbacher wasn't the best offensively out there. I thought they showed where their particular strengths were. They showed that off quite well, and it's a matter now of tweaking it and finding
Mhm.
out who they work best with.
Yeah, I like great comments in the chat, by the way, for people about that. So now, for answer to Joe Manella is in the house. Welcome, everybody, by the way, in the show. Don't forget, please, to click on the like if you don't mind. Uh, to go back to Joe Manella, he said the goaltending is this what they have for Montreal Canadian draft goaltending. First of all, Joe, Fuller cannot be there. Miller was hurt. Ronankin cannot be there. They are the and Tobes play in American Hockey League. So they are the four best
That's right.
goaltender from Montreal Canadian and this organization. Everything else is behind. Croteau cannot be there, play in the NCAA. And Verbetic have no contract yet. Is a East Coast Hockey League. He's not going to become a goaltending. So they got two goaltender and vie for the tournament as on the weekend. That's it, Joe. So I just want to give you a little bit better information about the goaltending situation for the Montreal Canadiens. So hopefully that will give you a little bit an idea about that one there for that.
Yeah, and they're all young, right? Like even the ones that are currently on the team, Montebo and Primo, like they're
Yeah,
just a few years ahead of the game, but they're in that same category.
you're absolutely about that, Mr. Enortap. About the great comments between a lot of people in the chat. I like what I read, Mr. Enortap. I can go all the way like that. We talk about 30 minutes for that tournament, Mr. Enortap. Now, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, Mr. Enortap. That would be hurt a little bit more. Who should kick off the season with the Montreal Canadiens? One for you season during the weekend. Rookie camp. I know we have still have the main camp. It's going to
Yeah.
be, that question could come back next week or next 2 weeks, right? After the exhibition game, but still there, Mr. Notap. Who do you think could start the
I-
season with the Montreal Canadiens?
again, again, tough to make a judgment because it's based on two games, as we said. I think you get a better idea when it's the training camp and they're playing, because that's the other thing that we haven't brought up here is certain players, if you put them with the correct teammates on the same line, eh, that might help bring up their game a little bit more, right? So we'll see that for sure once some of these rookies are playing with either some current players or prospects that are already vying for a position. So, but just looking at it very raw right now, I would say obviously, when you look at Hutson, there could be a very much a spot for him on the squad right away. Um, I think. Uh, I mean, I'll be honest, that's about it. Like, I don't see any of the forwards vying for a spot right now. And Reinbacher right now, I think, is better serviced an extra year at Laval. Mayu is probably the next closest, I would say, after Hudson, but there's a clear distinction at this stage. The advantage that he holds is obviously that he's a right-handed defenseman, and that helps his progression a little bit more than anybody else.
I don't think so. You're wrong about that. I think it's a little bit what I read. For what I see during the weekend, the only one I have a possibility to be with the Montreal Canadiens so far is Lane Hutson
Yeah.
for right now. Again, everything could change, Mr. Natal, for the next 12, 14 days, right? But for what I saw is him. The following after that, I will say to you, um, it's going to be a debate, Mr. Natal, Mayu and Rebecca. I know for the development, I think both of them should be in American Hockey League, right? But if
Hmm.
they need to step up their game to beat Strubble and Byron. This is the first thing
That's right.
about that.
Yeah.
Same situation with Lane Hudson, by the way, for that. But if you talk about what happens on the weekend, I see only one, Lane Hudson, right now, could join the Montreal game for the upcoming season. Injury could happen, Mr. Antap. Mayu, because experience wise, could be there, but don't give up on David Rebecca. Um, Fans, most of us, we don't see what the coaches are looking for or what the Montreal Canadiens already want. And Rebecca will fit quicker, better, faster to fit in the system of Montreal Canadiens compared to Logan Mayu. That's what
Hmm.
I believe right now. But no forward and only Lane Hudson on top could be with the roster for the Montreal Canadiens. The time will tell us,
Yeah.
honestly.
No,
But
I agree with that.
we'll see about this. Mr. Top, the next question is about um, who has the potential, not start the season, the potential guys in the chat to play in the NHL one day. For everybody you see during the weekend. Yes, some people say, you know what, this kid's going to play in the NHL. He's going to, whatever with the Montreal Canadiens or any other team. It's not that.
Yeah, yeah. Defensively, I would say all four of them, like Hudson, Mayu, Engstrom, and Reinbacher. And that's about it. Outside shot at Protz, if he can elevate his game a little bit more. I know what he brings to the game physically because he's the kind of guy that really completes his checks and he does so very violently, if I can say that. If he could just improve his defensive part of the game, I think that he may be there, but he's a distant fifth right now. Forward wise, again, I'm going to go back to Owen Beck. I think that he has the potential to play in the NHL one day. I think Massar at some point or some with some team, if it's not with Montreal, definitely there. I would say Farrell has a shot. I think it's more of a longer bet for him. Heineman, I don't know. I'm not sold on Heineman. I think he comes out in spurts and he looks good for certain portions of the game, but then he completely disappears at other times. And somebody that has his size and he can play a physical brand of game, he doesn't always get involved, and that's worrisome to me. So I'm not sure about him. We talked about Thorpe earlier. I think that there's always, if he continues to play like this, I think there's a definite opportunity for him to be somewhere. Uh, Jackeye probably as a winger. I wouldn't say right now. I wasn't impressed as a centerman. I would put him on the wing, and I think that he could down the road have a position somewhere. Again, not necessarily Montreal, but somewhere. And I don't know if I've forgotten anybody. I don't know. I was a bit disappointed with Luke Tuck. The other guys, Niehoff was not didn't really stand out. I thought LaRose that wasn't really there. Savoie wasn't too bad, but I don't see him in the NHL, at least not right now or anytime soon. Um, did I forget anybody?
I
I
don't
mean,
think so.
Davidson maybe in spot duty, but I don't think, again, not a permanent fixture, but in spot duties when there's injuries, that kind of thing, I can see that.
Um, Here we go. Owen Beck.
Let's start defensively. Defensively, let's start defensively.
All right. All four. Engstrom,
Yeah,
Mayu, Hudson, Rebecca.
agreed.
Forward. Owen Beck.
Owen Beck.
That's all.
You don't see any of the other guys on, even on a different team.
On Trent
You
team.
don't see. Yeah,
Uh,
that's what we said, right?
okay.
That it
So
doesn't have to be Montreal,
on Trent team, Animan, no. Okay.
right?
Farrell, no. I don't see that at all. On the second line,
Massar,
yesterday, it was Mejar. Um,
yeah,
I like his second link. Missile have to understand to slow the game. A better way Mr. Tap to be fast in NHL is to slow the game. It's something you need to learn. He's really good carrying the puck, Mr. Tap. I see some flash yesterday. I really like it. We need to complete his game. This is again on the way, but it could go there, Mejar, if he is developed properly. But right now, I
yeah,
don't see that. Um, on that line, Mr. Top, I think Davidson have a better chance to play a full role, a four liner role in the NHL on that line.
possibly.
On,
Yeah, possibly. Yeah,
on the third line, the only one I can see maybe if he's developed properly is better. The chance is Thorpe. If he can have a better, he become a better skater. Um, the 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 top guys, he's going to score goal in NHL because he drive to the net. If he can become a
Hmm.
Colzar, a Matt Martin, and not like about the fight with Matt Martin, but a guy can play physical, and I think Top could become one day that potential. I'm not saying he's going to get there, but he have the potential to get there as Toby Top. For the rest,
Hmm.
forward, nothing else. So resume, I would say to you, um, Beck depends the development of Davidson, Mezar, and Thorpe. That's it. A lot of people think about Florence Jacquard. Like I said many times on that for Luke Talk, I see him so many times. Unfortunately, he's never going to be in the NHL. For Florence Jacquard, he is talented, he is limited. Skill wise, he is limited. How he developed, I don't know. Can his physicality of the game and the way he developed could bring him? Maybe. I don't see that yet, Mr. Top. And I don't reject every one of them, Mr. Top, to put them negatively. I just see
No,
we're
no,
talking about the
yeah,
potential, maybe one day. But again, the town will tell us exactly. Top are better chance because he's younger. Davidson is going to turn 21, 22 next season. Mejar is the same situation
yeah.
for him. Uh,
It's a
so
big
we'll
year
see
for
what he
Massar
look
this
like,
year.
everything like that. So Owen Beck forward, the four defensemen, um, like I mentioned to you, they are the only five players right now. I feel they're going to be in NHL right now.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
Um, I try to get there. At 6'5", you cannot be a speeder, Gary. No, you're absolutely right. It's not about speed. It's about to have a great stride. Like look about Dave Thompson, right? 6'7", but look, he's skating. Um, this is what you have when you become a 6'6", 6'7", Mr. Enortap. You need to have another dimension of your tools. Have a skater. They have a difficult time at that age when they grow quickly to readapt themselves about their stride and to adapt themselves about their speed. I'm
Hmm.
not talking about Torp about the speed of the skating a long term, a long way. Is this explosiveness about that? That's what I'm talking about for Torp. But the guy can drive to the net. He can play physical. He have a good hands, Mr. Top. He scored 2 goals, one
He
on the
does.
shot,
He
one on the
does. Yeah.
backhand. So um, Ken Torp can become a John Anderson. This is what I'm talking about. Can he become a guy? Can Anderson better skater, right? Fast, but Torp have better hands already, and he drive to the net more. So the time we tell us, Mr. Tap, on that one.
Yeah.
Top did not look slow this weekend, Gary. No, I don't say he is slow.
Yeah.
I'm talking about improvement, Gary. That's what my point of view right now here. Uh, PLW said, piss it up, play, and the NHL Farrell can someone do also BLW. The problem with Farrell, guys, is going to be his size at 5'9". Now, he can play anywhere, maybe in NHL, but this is a guy like Coronato, have a good career in the USHL. He move on to NCAA together with Harvard. And obviously, at some point, you have to be physical. You have to be so Farrell to be an NHLer one day had to create like he did during the weekend, opposite for the other teammates, carry on the puck, move the puck, and use his talent. He's smart as a hockey player he is. But again, some point there's no work in NHL for that one.
But one thing he brings up in that I would change the name and say if and tell me what you think, Coach. If Pizzetta plays in the NHL, which he has over the last 2 years, can somebody like Florian Jacki be at the same level as him? With not necessarily with Montreal, could be with any team.
For Jacky to be that player of the four line in NHL, what he need to improve, it'll
Yeah,
be his hands, his vision of the game, right? And then to balance his career, to said, I can be physical, I don't need to fight. I can be in the NHL if I can improve my skating. I can be NHL if I can have a better hands. If I want to play center, I need to practice the details. I don't see Jacky as a center. For what I
No,
see
I
so
don't
far.
either.
I see more as a
Yeah,
winger. But can he
as
become
a
a
winger, yeah.
Kozal? Can he become a physical guy that way? The time will tell us that's the development. But what he's missing, in my opinion, is the hockey sense. His hands have to be quicker, faster. His stick angling is good, but not great. He have a good explosiveness when he carry on the puck between the red line to the blue line to go in entrance. He use his body. I like it, but he will have to go drive to the net. I think a winger that would be a better. Can he become a
It's
hunter
easier.
in NHL? This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Can he become that player? It's limited right now, Mr. Enortap. But
yeah, yeah,
we see players where they come from nowhere and make the NHL by the desire of the DNA about the learning to develop their work ethic. They don't care about anything to focus on work, hard,
yeah.
and that's changed everything like that. But for what we saw,
And that's exactly what Pazzetta is, right? It's all about his effort, his the grind, and that he had, and the grit that he has to his game that keeps him, with the squad right now.
yeah, I'm sorry about that. I just want to mention, not sentiment, but a dream of a silver season. A dream, yes, we don't talk about Kapanen Dimitar because they are not with the Montreal Canadiens on the weekend. So that's one reason we don't talk about other players on the pipeline. It was just a question about right now for the weekend for the players. So I just want to mention this, Mr. Anta, for the people about that. What show did Edson still? I think that's a constant that three pick should have better prospect the leave. Apparently not. But here's the point of view about that. You look like a Toronto Maple Leaf fan, so first of all, welcome to the show. Here's the problem for that: their fifth overall pick, Evan Dimitrov, is not there for that. Michael Edge, 21st overall pick, is not there. That's number two right there for the Montreal Canadiens on the weekend. Do we have other pick? Mr. On top was not there on the weekend. The goaltender Jacob Fuller
The
it was not
goaltending,
there for the Montreal Canadiens. Consider
yeah,
one at the top over there. Put this all together, that would change a little bit the Montreal Canadiens. Secondly, um, 9, 10, and maybe 11 of the 23 players play for them during the weekend are invite players. So you cannot consider this way. Your best player for the prospect for the Toronto Maple Leafs was on the ice on the weekend. The defenseman Niemela, uh, Easton Coleman, Menden, Menden, and then Irvinen. So I agree with you the way you see that, but I'll just give you another way as the Montreal Canadiens fans why we see that. I currently I can understand how you feel about that way, but this is the reality about that. So um, this is
the other
happening
thing
during the
is you,
weekend. If Montreal had Dimitar, Michael Edge, Jacob Fowler right there, just right there, I don't see.
yeah.
I will see its front outcomes during the weekend. That's what I see about that. But again,
And the other thing I would add to that is you also can't see that in a linear fashion like that. You can't really just say, well, you know what, Montreal had higher picks, therefore why aren't they beating the Leafs who had lower picks? It just doesn't necessarily work that way. If you look at Montreal's picks, well, they've all come very concentrated within the last, 3, maybe 4 years. And as you mentioned, some of them were not there. Uh, I mean, I would venture to say if Miller or Fowler or both were there, then we probably take both games, even though we didn't have a great showing by some of our forwards. But it was really the fact that the goaltenders could not, give that momentum to the players when they needed it. Or, Montreal came from behind a couple times, 2 goals behind. They tie up the score, and then quickly Toronto responded with a goal. And that deflates you.
yeah, I'm sorry about that. You talk about Dream, about Kuznechov. A lot of great comments, guys. A lot of people talk about trade Savard, Madison. I'll give you guys, when you go to trade those players, Savard, Madison, Devorak, Armia, Anderson, Pesada, Jake Evans. When you go to trade them, it's not because they have to, it's because the players from the pipeline already to
Are
jump in the
pushing.
lineup. So they're going
Yeah.
to move them out. Of course, at the final year contract, many of them are now returning with the Montreal Canadiens. But if you trade right now Savard Medicine or one of the two right there, but we don't have yet the player to take the spot at the same level. So yes, you give opportunity for the Montreal Canadiens to bring, example, Mayu, Hudson, and Rebecca. I can understand that. But if you're losing Savard and you bring Rebecca or you bring uh, Mayu, is it enough to cover what Savard bring for the Montreal Canadiens? This is the are you
Eventually.
yes, but right now you start the
Yeah.
season with on
Now,
top. You
no.
Martin said we you can use you Jeff Gordon. They are get the players like Patrick Lane for one reason. Honestly, they try to be in the mix of the race for the playoff. This is what their goal you're going to hear tomorrow. They are potentially try to make the playoff. The worst players going to be mentioned tomorrow, probably the players and the mix and the race for the Montreal Canadian management is going to hear that tomorrow. That's my expectation for Montreal Canadian. Now, let's take that away. Remove Savard right now and put
Yeah.
Rebecca or Mayu. Are you at the same level, caliber, talented, skill wise, system wise, to be in the race for the upcoming season, Mr. Enortap, without Savard?
Well, we went through that experiment last year when we had 5 out of the 6 players that, or 2 years ago actually, when we had 5 of the 6 players that were rookies, and we saw what a disaster that was, right? Not because they're bad players, but because they just don't have that experience yet. Defensemen take a little bit longer to properly develop. They also don't have that know-how at the professional level in terms of how to deal with how the game changes, right? Whereas guys like Savard have been around, they've won the cup, they've been in playoff situations, they're experienced, they know how to calm everybody down. And then he shows it also by the fact that he's a very good penalty killer, in terms of a defenseman, blocks a lot of shots. But it's the learning behind the scenes that he offers to these younger defenders that's really invaluable at this stage.
Absolutely. Now, do the same thing with Madison. Remove Madison today. Is it going to make the Montreal game better if they bring Hudson, Cooley, Jacky over Madison? I don't think so.
No, but here's the difference. I know what you're saying, right? Here's the difference. With Matheson, you have the opportunity to now bring Gooley to the left side where I
Who is
think
going to
he's
be on the
better
right
suited.
side?
Well, then that's what you have to see. You have hopefully one of the, either Mayu or Reinbacher, let's say at trade deadline time, is ready to make
No,
that
no, not
jump.
at the trade deadline, Mr.
Then,
Tap. Not at the trade deadline. We're not there. We're not there.
oh no,
Wait,
at
at
the
the
beginning
beginning
of
of the
the year,
season right now, because want to trade
you're not going to
Savard, they
see
want to
anything
trade
happen.
Madison right now. That's what the question is. They
No,
try
no,
to
no.
trade one of them right now to open a spot for
Right
the
now, they're
four.
not going to trade anybody. They're not going to trade anybody right now. Right now, at the
Do
trade
we
deadline
have the
time,
players right
it is
now, the
very
Montreal
possible.
Canadiens pipeline to step up over Savard and to step up over Madison?
Right now, no. At
That's my
trade
point
deadline
behind that.
time,
All
at
right.
trade deadline time, we might.
So what I just said is this way: until those forward or the defensemen cannot show to the Montreal Canadiens organization are ready to step up inside the roster and did not lose anything, they're not going to
Hmm.
trade all of them. They will keep them.
Right. Yeah,
And more they
I
will be
agree
in
with
the
that.
race, Mr. Tap. Don't be surprised Savard still with Montreal Canadiens at the trade deadline. If Montreal
Yeah, if they're in the
Canadiens
race,
are
I can see
inside
it.
a
Yeah.
6 point, Mr. Tap, at the trade deadline, do you trade David Savard?
No, no.
This is the point behind that. So everybody wants to trade Savard and Madison in that shot right now. Many of them, I would say no. Because now the Montreal Canadiens are changing their mindset to become a team try to be in the mix of the race for the playoff. So it's not a team right now rebuilding only. They try to win more games, to try to be performing better. The outcome of the game is more important now. Now said that, but they try to get more longer at the standing and in NHL. So for me, I will not trade all of them. Same thing as on top. One Owen Beck will be ready. Now maybe looking now to trade Christian Dvorak, or they knows Alex New can be there. And the different thing could happen with the Montreal Canadiens. But this is what I'm thinking for the Montreal Canadiens right now and the chat um, overall. So that would be the situation about this. I know, PL, you want to trade Madison, but I will not trade Mike Madison. Shelton, hello all. The camp one of the rookie prospect will have to show in order to trade Savard and Madison would have to be or her out. I just don't see happening, and I'm okay with that. Great point about this. Mr. Tap,
Yeah.
during the
Let it
rookie camp,
happen.
some player play hockey,
Yes.
otherwise somewhere else. And Evan Demidov play his game number 5 yesterday, Mr. Tap. I don't know if you followed the game, but I did. And
Yes, I
Demidov
did.
scored his
Yeah.
first goal in the KHL yesterday, 1 point.
Should have had
And
two.
you have two. One it was Dizalu, honestly.
Yeah.
I really like the fact he played 13 minutes and the fact the coach used him
Yes.
more during the third period for both games, by the way. Sometimes
Yeah.
you have to go with the circumstance the game is on top. I watched all the game for Demidov since the beginning of the season. Sometimes a power play. He did not use on the power play Mr. on the top yesterday, all game, until to the end of the game
Right.
when he needed a goal. He put Dimitrov.
Yeah.
So the coach is easy to get him. They play without the number 81, by the way, yesterday. It was so easy for me to follow the game on top. It's so complicated, 81, 91. Both of them are left winger. Dimitrov, you can recognize him because he wear a little bit of white at the top of the over body, and then his skating is different at 81. But
It's,
still,
he's
sometimes I'm
faster.
struggling to feel that. Anyway, it was not a power play until the end of the game for Dimitrov, Mr. Tap. Great. You
Yeah.
can see on this first clips the first goal of the game for the SKA. Great play by Kuznetsov. I like Dimitrov, guys. He can see now. He find a spot. He find a great hockey player, guys. This is what you want to see. Dimitrov,
Exactly.
he find the open spot. Patrick Lane, you're going to see him a lot on the Montreal Canadiens for upcoming season, by the way. Those kind of player guys, they know to go where the area where nobody watching them. And they are really good to hiding behind the defenseman. This is happening with Dimitrov on that sequence. Again, we're going to see the replay of the goal yesterday. Again, the team Lada was the second game, by the way. But again, you can see
Yeah.
Dimitrov now battle for the puck in the corner, back to Kuznetsov. Now he's watching the defenseman go, he see behind. Honestly, Lada, the forward, did not check Dimitrov. But again, the both defensemen jumping on Kuznetsov, and then Dimitrov score his goal on that one. Now this is all the shift of Dimitrov. You're going to see again the same goal again, but this is all the 13 minutes. You can watch those video, guys, on my channel of the Hockey Nation every time Dimitrov play game. Again, game after 5 games, he had 1 goal, 1 assist. Um, I think game number 4, is it the game number 4? No, game number 3, I believe. He did only
No,
one
four.
shift
Four.
on the third period, but since that, look, uh, SK struggled to scoring goal. In my opinion, he's the fastest player for the team SKA. I like the way he play overall. He put him down on the 4 line, and they can realize they cannot be use him on the 4 line because the rest of the team they're struggling to put the puck in the net. Kuznetsov, you can see an assist on that goal, but Kuznetsov only 2 points or 3 points in the beginning of this season. Lack of the competitivity, intensity, and consistency for Kuznetsov, Mr. Tap, it's really difficult to watch sometimes. You get frustrated to see Kuznetsov, but it's a team, Mr. Tap, compared for all the team I see so far. It's a good team, but another great team. Will be interesting how he's going to use Dimitrov, but honestly, for a rookie, listen now, he start the puck attacking right away there, and he's coming now.
Yeah.
Great shot again, miss that opposite. It's happening for Dimitrov during the game a couple of times. So I like his game so far overall for Dimitrov. For a rookie playing a KHL at 18 years old, it's rare you can get those kind of minutes. By the time we tell us, it look like sometimes he's not lost on the ice, but sometimes I would like him to be a little bit more intense on the defensive side. He still plays sometimes too high. You have another great opportunity yesterday. Intercept the puck on the neutral zone to give a better chance for his teammate to score a goal. A great vision, Mr. Enortap, can pass the puck.
And great
I really
stick.
like overall for what
Yeah.
Dimitrov bring on the table.
Yeah, no, definitely, Coach. I agree 100%. He's got a great stick as well. Like he anticipates plays well. Like the first thing we saw today that I thought was positive was obviously SKA finally scoring and emerging victorious in the game in overtime. Demidov, like he played a crucial part in this game. As you said earlier, he recorded just over 13 minutes of ice time, which is an increase from previous. He was moved up a line. He was back together with Kuznetsov, which I thought they worked much better together today. He had three shots. I think he even drew a penalty as well. He had a couple of takeaways. Like he's really starting to round into his game. And while he hasn't gotten, I don't think he's gotten the complete support yet. He's always one of the most dangerous players on the ice in my eyes, and it didn't matter which period we looked at today. I thought in all three periods he was like that. It seems to me like Demidov will like he's got to continue proving himself to get the greater ice time that I think he deserves. But at some point, you got to believe that
Here, Mr. Natal, we
they're
stop you
gonna
guys.
see
You
that.
see right
Yeah,
there. All right. So you're going to see a
exactly.
breakout. This is what I'm talking about. Sometimes you need to find out to helping his teammate without the puck. This is one Martin Sui talk all the time. If you can have the puck, try to give a best option to get a puck. Look what he's going to do here. The puck go behind the net right there. But now he's not ready yet. His stick is on the air. He's looking the development. The formation ladder is going to be a 1-2-2. Look, he's stuck right there to the wall. He would like
Right.
right now the defenseman with the puck behind the net to have Dimitrov already turning his body to be on direction to go all the way up. But look what he's doing there. It's not a great position right now for Dimitrov. He's not helping the defenseman. Now the defenseman send the puck all the way outside. But Dimitrov right there is out of the play. Now he's on the defensive zone one is teammate Kuznikov. This is what I'm talking about. This is again, it's not against him on top. It's just where I see some play like that, you need to improve. Is to anticipate the play better. We have the puck, we are going on the session breakout. So right there, if you're thinking as a player, oh, transition, quick up. Really, I'm going to go up to give a better option for the defense for his teammates. But this is what I'm talking about Dimitrov. Nothing wrong.
Yeah.
I like his game. I like where he played 5 game. He get a little bit more confidence about the coach. We'll see who's going along. We know what's going on. KHL guy is about American Hockey League. No physical most of the time. The speed of the game is pretty good. A couple of great talented players on that league also. But we'll see what he's going to look like for the next couple of weeks with the team SKA.
Yeah, but we're seeing that improvement, and that's all about development, and that's the positive thing that you want to take away from all of this. Like we're seeing that he's starting to push the envelope, like more time on the power play, in certain situations. And yeah, does he make mistakes? I mean, which rookie won't? But of course, it's how you learn from those mistakes and don't repeat them. That's what's key in terms of how successful you're eventually going to be once you get to the NHL level.
I go again disagree with with PLW Mr. Tap. He mentioned the Montreal Canadiens trade their best defensive player this summer. You're talking about Jonathan Kovacevic, PLW again. Now, if he was so good, PLW, just take a note that I just like go get another beer right now in the fridge and bring back on the table. Listen to me. All right. If Kovacevic was so good on defensive, PLW, why he does not play on the first pairing with Madison? Why he did not play over Cooley? Why he's not on the ice when McDavid is on the ice? Why he's not on the ice when Barkov is on the ice? Why Matthew is on the ice is not there? Why is not there when McKinnon is on the ice? Because if you're thinking he was the best defenseman player for the Montreal Canadiens, he was not there. Now you can see a +9, +10. The plus minus does not show to me who they look like, the players at the end of the day. It was a good third pairing defenseman, play 15 minutes. That was the role. It's a bit like Jekai.
Yeah,
Those players,
yeah.
when they play 20 minutes, 21, when they expose again the best hockey player in front of them, they're struggling. That's just normal. But you want to have the best defenseman player on the defensive side for the Montreal game last season, it's David Savard.
Hmm.
This is what I'm talking about. It's David Savard. And the reason why they trade Kovacevic, because he's not fit. And that's the reason why he's going to struggling to be a part of the roster for the New Jersey Devils. They have many, 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 many. That's enough many, Mr. Enortap, to tell you is you have many Kovacevic in NHL and American Hockey League. Said that, he did a good job for the Montreal Canadiens to become claimed from the Winnipeg Jet. He did his role with the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
not a bad player at all. But for me, I would take 5-time Jaden Strouble over Kovacevic. At 27 years old, we're easy right now. This is what you got from him. This is the max you can get for Kovacevic. He's never going to be at the top 4 defensemen in NHL. So Montreal Canadiens with Mayu, Rebecca, Hudson, Konishkov, Engstrom.
Yep.
Kovacevic does not fit in the plan for the Montreal Canadiens. Same thing with Jordan
That's
Harris.
exactly it.
Same thing could happen with Justin
Yeah.
Barron. Same thing could happen with Jekai. Same thing could happen with Jason Strouble. Will happen with Madison. Will happen with Sabah. It's just who we are right now with the Montreal Canadiens. And that's the reason we talk about this tonight.
Right, and the minutes he's playing weren't at the same level as some of the other defenders. So you're playing also, usually third and fourth liners from the opposing team who are not going to pose as much of a threat, and so he was able to get away with that at that level. But I agree, you have to make room for some of the younger ones, which are going to be have a higher ceiling than what Kovacevic brought last year.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Mr. Enortap. Let's move on again. We almost we passed the time, Mr. Enortap. With no preparation, the show like usually I do, we did pretty good so far, Mr. Enortap.
Very good.
Right?
Excellent.
I think we did pretty good. Um, a long term, Mr. Enortap, don't tell anybody. I would tell you right now. Nobody will listen to me right now. Hudson, Mayu, Rebecca, Cooley, Jekai, Ekstrom. All my 6 top defensemen for the Montreal again. Terry, welcome in the house.
Welcome, Terry.
All right. Now, Konishkov, it could be another one. And then Strouble could be another one. This is what we got on the top 8 for the Montreal Canadiens. What I like from this, Mr. Tap, we had friend versatile players. Some of them played friendly or big. You think about this, Mr. Tap. Hudson 5'10, I got it. But Mayu 6'3, 6'4. Rebecca 6'3. Cooley 6'3. Jekai 6'4. Angstrom
6'4.
6'2. Right? So we have a
Yeah.
lot of big size on the defensemen. You can leave with Lane Hutson at 5'10. And if they develop properly the right way, this will give you a great, great foundation as the defenseman for Montreal Canadiens. I just want to share it with you guys. We don't want to talk too much about this. We have many times we're going to talk about that, but that give you a little bit better way for this Montreal Canadiens. Where's Byron? It's trouble. I don't know yet how you're going to do the Byron every time that when Mr. Tap. When I can see Montreal Canadiens missing a defenseman number 1 possible, we'll see the time will tell us. A couple of forward. We're going to talk about this, Mr. Tap. We want to finish the show with a
Yep.
clash like we do, Mr. Tap. We have 3 clash to talk about this. Now big tonight, Mr. Tap. I think easy. I say, you know what? The rookie camp is over. We are tired. I was Mr. Tap. I worked last night at 9 p.m. First of all, I came back for the
Yeah,
gym.
you don't rest. You got to rest, coach.
I will take a rest during the day. But I left the gym at you have a big storm I go in at the gym at the right time. It was just starting to rain. So I said, okay, now it rained a lot. When I finished my gym after 35 minutes, the rain was gone. So I walk in and then I bring my food and I sit. It was about 8:25, 8:30. I said, oh, I was checking my Twitter account. Boom. I forgot. Dimitrov played last night. So at 9 o'clock, I
Yeah.
have to be ready. So I do all the clip and I show on my Twitter account the goal, blah, blah, blah. Now I have to work until 11:15, 11:30. And then Montreal play at 12 on my time until 3 a.m. So the show for tonight was not properly the right way, like usually I do, Mr. Tap. So I apologize for everybody. If you don't have many clips of the show I do usually, I will show Hudson or everybody else during the camp. But next game, next time, Mr. Tap. We'll be back tomorrow night,
We're good.
8:30
We're good.
p.m., Mr. Tap, talking about the golf tournament. Mr. Tap, absolutely or not at all? Better career in NHL, Weber or Subban?
Well, it's not an absolutely or not at all. You're
Not
asking
that
which
one.
one? Okay. Weber. Weber in my eyes. Do you want me to
Why?
expand on it or? Oh, well, it's easy. I mean, for me, I think he brought the longevity aspect to the game. He had one of the best shots on the power play for many many years. He's represented Canada on a couple of occasions. Has been captain on two different teams. Brings that physicality. Earned the nickname the Man Mountain. Like he just and his stats are just not only were they consistent, but um, they were also at a high level. Like he was at one point, he was regarded when he was with Nashville, especially as being one of the top, 4 or 5 defensemen in the league, without a doubt. As a matter of fact, when they made that trade for Subban, and again, I like Subban, I liked him a lot too, but when I heard it was Subban was traded for Weber, and all it took was Subban to get Weber, I thought to myself, Bergeron's done a good deal here. I like it,
Do you
and he
remember
didn't prove us
everybody in
wrong.
the chat? The 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 commotion, the concussion happening for many fans when they saw Subban leave the building. Like a lot of fans was
Yeah.
upset about that trade. There was
Well,
like they crucified Bergevin
yeah,
at the beginning of that trade, and then there's no help. Subban at the first 3 years of that trade was better to Weber.
yeah. The first couple of years probably, but I mean, I don't know. When you consider the long range, and I think Weber comes out on top, without a doubt. And again, I loved Subban. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to bring him down or anything like that. But if we're comparing the two, I think Weber comes out on top every time in every aspect. Two different kinds of leaders, right? Like Subban's much more flamboyant, outgoing, extrovert. Weber was more of an introvert, right? Like he led by example, went out there, did his job quietly. You knew times when you didn't want to mess around with Weber.
Yeah, of course, he was a big defenseman. Um,
Huge.
834 games on tap for 467 points for Subban. 589 points for Weber, but 1,038 game for Weber. So he has 200 more game and he has 120 more points.
Yeah.
I think on
No
the
surprise.
point, Subban could have the same number of the point of Weber. Weber have more goal again versus Subban. Norris, Subban won a trophy Norris one time, and Weber never won the trophy Norris.
Shortened season. It was a shortened season when he won that. Yeah.
But he won it, right?
Again,
No, I
not
don't
not
say
to
no. Wait,
discredit,
wait a minute.
not
The,
to
the fans,
discredit
people
him.
start getting away. Coach won Subban. No, it's not my point here. I know Weber
No, I
have a
know.
better
I know.
year. If at the end of the day, Mr. Top, the question should be: would you prefer to have Weber to have inside of your team or Subban to be a part of your team.
Yeah. I I take Weber all the time,
Exactly.
every day.
Exactly about that. No doubt, Mr. Antap. So it was an easy one between you and me on that one. So it was just a warm up, Mr. Antap. Better potential in NHL à long term. Montembeau or Primo?
You had to go here, didn't you? Well, right now. It's early for Primo, right? Like we haven't really. We saw him in very select situations last year. He was very well protected, I thought, in terms of when he played, where he played. He met the test that way. We'll see this year how he performs as a backup, I think, to Montebo. I think Montebo at least has shown, although he hasn't had a full season as the number one, he has shown in different situations that first of all, he's got the size, which is a definite plus for him. Secondly, we've seen growth in his game to the point where he was also playing for Team Canada and did a great had a great performance there as well. He was one of the key players a couple years ago when he played. So better potential. I'll probably right now, I'll lean towards Montebo
Montembeau for you?
for now.
PLW
Yeah,
said that Tobes. Um,
yeah. Well, yeah, probably. I'm not convinced of either one, to be totally honest.
yeah,
I,
yeah, I
I've
can
always said
understand
that.
that, right? But
Yeah,
I think what I would say, Mr. Antap, the gap between Montembeau Primo is closer at what maybe the people can see it. Does it make sense? Like, I think
yeah,
Primo
yeah.
is
Definitely.
better, is close to Montembeau. I don't see a big difference between both of them. That's my point behind that.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with that.
And I think it's really difficult. PLW, Rebacker, Mayu, Hudson, Angstrom are going to push other defensemen out of the Montreal Canadiens. Tobesh is going to push one of the two goalers, Mr. Tab, out of the Montreal Canadiens.
Dobeshes,
Tobesh, yes. And then Fuller's coming next season and 2 years.
Fowler's the key. Fowler's the key. Yeah,
Don't be surprised, guys, in the next 3 years. 3 years. Montreal Canadiens have no Montembeau et Primo with the Montreal
I
Canadiens.
agree. I would agree with that
I don't say it
assessment.
will happen,
Yeah,
Mr. Tab, but this is the
it's a
beauty of the
strong.
development of the Montreal Canadiens. We'll see. It takes
Yeah.
time. You never know. A goaltender is weird. A goaltender is
Oh, yeah.
weird. And I don't know
It's
what
the
could happen.
hardest
So,
position.
finally, Mr. Tap,
Last one.
can Kirby Doc become a top five second line center in NHL? No, absolutely or not at all.
Can he stay healthy? Is the first question. I think we have to ask. Can he become a top five second line center in the NHL? He could. He could become that because I think he has the raw
So,
skills for it.
Mr. Tap, yeah, no
Yes.
answer said could. It's about absolutely and not at all.
I, well, if he stays healthy, that's the first thing I'll say. I would say absolutely
So your answer is absolutely.
if he stays healthy.
I agree with you about that. I think Kirby Dak
Yeah.
have everything to be that center. If you talk about a
Yeah.
center number two in the center tap, and this is an exercise I like to do me when I do some search, everything like that, right? Um, everything, Florida, Sam Bennett, right? Of course, you have Malkin, you have Tressadol,
Those are the
right?
exceptions. Yeah.
Yeah, but look about all the different and now Vancouver is really solid with Peterson behind Jilly Miller, Tavares behind Matthews, um,
Yeah.
Jimmy Ben
Look
or
at
Jimmy Ben or Taylor Seguin behind Robin Hens, um, Tampa Bay some point was Point Stankos. Those best
Yeah.
team in the NHL have a really good duo center. Look, the Carolina AO, but after that they dropped because
It's
Kokanemi
not
and
right.
Jordan Stahl did not carry on that team behind that. Um, and I can go with
Well,
many
when
team or bubble player in NHL.
Colorado, Colorado, when they had McKinnon and Kadri,
Yeah,
right? That was a very potent
Zibanejad,
one-two
Trocheck.
punch. That's right. Yeah,
Ottawa's pretty good with Norris is Suzuki right now,
it's Stutzel. Yeah,
right? But look, the Winnipeg Jet send the departure of the
Monahan. Yeah,
no, no.
it.
Before that, it was
Um.
Sheffley, someone else.
Oh, Wheeler. Wheeler.
Well, Willard they
Are
use
you
on the
talking
right
about
winger usually, but they have
on the
another
wing?
center
Yeah.
that I cannot remember, like 4 or 5 years ago. It was a good duo
Uh,
when they make the playoff against Winnipeg, when the Montreal Canadiens. Yeah, Connor, Eller, I missed one player right there. I apologize for everybody. But usually this is what I'm talking about, right? Capital, they have Dano after that. Montreal Canadiens, Kirby that could be that top five. It would be stretching set five, but it could be that defense, that center. This is the key for me for
yeah,
Montreal
I
Canadiens
agree.
and the next 2 years. If Kirby that can place healthy, what he can bring to the Montreal Canadiens, that would be really interesting to see that. That will make Montreal Canadiens so much better, Mr. Enortap, overall.
Yeah,
If Kirby
definitely, definitely.
can get that center we're looking for. And this is why getting excited for the Montreal Canadiens fans to see Laney could be that together. Andrew Cup, N26 Cup play on the third center at
The
that
third
line with
line. Yeah,
Mason Appleton, if you remember, and Adam Laurie on that line a couple of years ago on that line. But you have another center there, but that could be wrong. Anyway, um, Dak has something to prove on the top second center. I'm just not convinced that he can stay healthy PLW. Dak has something to prove, and I think he can pull it off. About that, Dream is very active in the chat right now. About the question was not will Dak play all year? Um, I let people complain, Mr. Mata, about
everything.
what not complaining, but is healthy. Guys, everybody get hurt in NHL. That's it is. That's the
Well,
normal. Not many players play
some
82
more than
games.
others.
Now he played 60 games in the last 2 seasons. I can understand that. And he missed the full year last season, and they have some kind of injury follow him. But Manan for 5 years got injury, and the last 3 seasons, he did not miss many games, Mr. Mata.
I know. Yeah,
So
like last year, that was one of our concerns when he was here that he might get hurt, and a trade was in order. It would be okay if they did that. But he was fine. He was fine with Winnipeg, and now he's going over to Columbus. So he's obviously going to assume number one center position there. Hopefully, he stays healthy there.
you're absolutely about that. Paul Stastny
Stastny, yes, yes, you're right.
was
Paul
done. Well
Stastny.
done. Well done on that one. On that one run. How many players get hurt like that? Does not a lot. Dougie Hamilton.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few names out there. I mean, it's obvious they put themselves in situations sometimes where there's a higher risk of getting injured. I think that's what it is. And Kirby Doc does not play a very lax game. Like he likes to get involved. He likes to complete hits as well. Uh, he'll go after the puck. So he puts himself in situations that compromise him. Let's put it that way. And that's what it is. It's I mean, I wouldn't even say injury prone, but it's putting yourself in predicaments where you could get injured, and unfortunately, sometimes it happens.
Yeah. Look about always look for Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes playing an average of 60 games so far after 5 years and in the National time. Missed approximately 20 games every year uh, for
Right.
for that.
And again, part of that is size too, because he's susceptible that way. But he's a fast player, and he opens himself up for some heavy contact sometimes, especially when he's driving to the net. I see Bob mentioned Shabbat. He's another one. So it puts himself in those kind of situations.
Doug Hamilton played 20 games last season, Mr. Enortap.
Oh, that was bad. I mean, that was a big reason for the downfall of New Jersey last year, but he's got to stay healthy this year.
Mr. Enortap, the first year with the Devils, he has a 34.82 game, and then last year, 16 points before they missed him. Doug Hamilton is going to change things, I believe, the Devils for upcoming
Yeah.
season.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. Plus, they made some good additions on their defense there. I know Hughes is injured, but look out for New Jersey.
Mr. Enortap, April just said to us, it's time to go.
April, we love April, don't we? One
I
of the
think it's time
best.
to go. People are tired to talk about Owen Beck, and then again, Mr. Enortap. What a great show, Mr. Enortap. We bring again on the channel. Don't forget, please, don't forget to click on the likes. I think everybody was tired tonight, Mr. Enortap. But again, people like PLW show up every night when we turn on the channel. N26 and Gary Conroy and many others. Luc Lafortune, he's still on the. Luc Lafortune, maybe. He's on the space somewhere, Mr. Enortap. Is it on the one he's
think
stuck
so.
in the space right now with the crew over
With
there?
a different account.
I don't know what's going on with Luc Lafortune. He's maybe working the FBI right now. He's on the something situation, Mr. Enortap.
But he's always our notre ami, right?
Randy Walkman, Bob Smith, Dream was really active tonight. Dream, hopefully you're going to come back. Tomorrow night, guys, we are back with the Montreal Canadiens. We're going to give you a bit an update about the golf tournament and the Montreal. We're going to talk a little bit more about the preview of the week, Mr. Enortap. We're really focusing on the camp for the Montreal Canadiens. So it's nothing wrong. I think it was perfectly good. And hopefully people enjoyed the show tonight. I was not my best, guys. I was tired. I worked too many hours today, but I'll be better tomorrow night. I'm going to have a really good day of sleeping, and I'm going to take a time to go to massage, Mr. Enortap, to rest of my feet. I worked a lot yesterday, Mr. Enortap. I worked over 2 hours and a half yesterday, by the way, on the beach.
But that's Coach, that's why you are the GOAT. You are the greatest of all time.
It's you, Mr. Enortap.
No, it's right there.
Here we go. Everybody have greatness inside of you. That's what's happening, guys, at the Hockey Nation Nation. Another great performance of Mr. Enortap tonight. But before we leave, you, Mr. Enortap, be well, be healthy. Find a way not only dominate your day, but find a way to dominate the second half of what?
What else? You're 2024.
You did it again. We wish you an amazing, great week. I will see you during the week. I don't know which night, but I can wait to see you. Until then, Mr. Enortap, enjoy the rest of your evening. Again, thank you so much. I will see you next time.
Good night, Coach, and thank you, Hockey Nation, for joining us.
See you next time. Good night. Thanks so much, RJ, at the update, update scoreboard. All the people in the chat, thanks so much to be with us. And of course, all the moderators tonight. Here we go. And booyah!